that bell button so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video, and smash the like button. So yeah, literally just got confirmed. I don't know if you were here a few days ago and if you were able to watch the video that I published a few days ago. Now obviously if you weren't there on that day and you didn't catch it before last night, then you won't be able to see it, because I did go ahead and privatize all of my content. I don't know if I will be republishing my content, but for the moment I won't. There may be, I'm thinking of going back into my content and publishing some of the important readings that I put on there. Some of those readings that will definitely go forward. I may republish some of the content that I just felt was just really good content. I might do that, but currently right now that won't happen today. I'll just say that. I just got the confirmation that I had I did a video maybe 2 days ago, and 2 days ago I was literally channeling, and I was just picking up intuitive messages, and I really realized that first of all, I'm definitely an oracle. I did not realize that. When I looked up the word today, the word oracle, it basically means it basically describes everything that I do. So sometimes when you guys are coming here, you're looking for absolute direct answers and stuff like that. That's not even what an oracle does. An oracle may give you ambiguous or obscure, and this is from the definition. This is the defined term of oracle. You might get ambiguous or obscure predictions. And the reason for that, I believe, I was just watching somebody the other day who said that, you know, a lot of the times as a group of people, you're trying to use tarot and astrology to escape your karma, to escape your lessons, to escape your journey. And the reality of that is that you can't escape the process. You have to go through the process, because that's the reason you're fucking here, right? And so while I understand that sometimes you just want to know what's going on, I also have to be clear to let you guys know that, you know, you have to be doing the work. I am here to help and guide and give insight, but I am not here to do the process for you. I am not here to do it for you. You have to do the work. And actually, specifically, I was watching this video and they were talking about how male witches use this stuff so that they don't have to do the work, right? So the reality is that there are a lot of male witches out there that we didn't know about. We didn't know about this shit until it started happening to us. And then we was like, oh shit, bitch, I got to learn how to protect myself. Bam. Like, I got to get in this spiritual shit. I got to get in my spiritual bag. Like, that's when we knew that shit was real. Like, these motherfucking guys be out here throwing spells and casting shit on us, and we didn't even fucking know. We was blindsided, honey. But that's besides the point. We got into it. We got into the work. We got into the spiritual process. We say, okay, well, shit, let me get on it. You know what I mean? I know that's what I said. I said, well, shit, let me get on it then. Fuck it. So the next thing that I wanted to say was just that, like, you know, we have to make sure that we are doing the work. Okay, because if you're not doing the work, then you'll realize that you're not able to use whatever capabilities you may have. Like, yeah, I might be an oracle, but you might be a seer in some other way. You might be able to see between universes or some shit like that. Like, we all have some level of capability. The issue is some of us are more open than others. Some of us have been more open than others. Me, I've always been open, so that's why I never allowed myself to close down. That's why I'm open, you know? And I have certain practices that I kind of use regularly that keep me in alignment throughout my life, really. But that doesn't mean that you can't do the same, okay? So I want y'all to be aware of that, especially as I get to telling y'all what the fuck I was just confirmed from astrology just now. This is like hot off the press. Shit, I don't know how much you guys missed. Fuck. So, okay, a few months ago we was talking about politics, and I was just like, I kept feeling some sort of a not even a blockage, like I couldn't go past, but just more like there's nothing. Like, I kept feeling like there's nothing. Like, it wasn't even like, sometimes when I'm trying to get into some information or whatever, there's a literal blockage. It's like there's like a gate that stops me, or there's like a what do you call it, an invisible armor that refuses to allow me to go through it, right? Sometimes that's how it feels when I'm like tapping in and I'm into it and stuff, and sometimes that's how it feels. Well, when I was talking about this political stuff a couple months ago, it wasn't like that. It just was nothing. It wasn't like there was a blockage, like, oh, we won't let you see this information. It was just nothing. It was nothing. And so I'm sitting here, I'm trying to intuit, like, which one of these people are going to get presidency. And it literally was nothing. It wasn't a blockage. So just now I realized through some astrology that Pluto in Aquarius is going to happen in Scorpio. Now, Pluto in Aquarius and Scorpio is crazy, because Pluto in Aquarius is already crazy. But Pluto in Aquarius and Scorpio is whoa. Okay, so what we're saying here, okay, I know y'all probably like, what does that mean? God damn it. Listen, just listen. Pluto in Aquarius in Scorpio when the veil is thin. Okay? Scorpio season is when the veil is thin. The veil between realms, the veil between the spiritual and the physical, the veil between dimensions is thin during Scorpio season. So I just got information that there's going to be complete political unrest starting in November 19th, okay? Not only will there be complete political unrest, but this, because Pluto's in Aquarius, in Scorpio, there's going to be, the sun is going to shine light on darkness, on anything hiding in the dark, okay? So now let's go further, because this is really what I was getting at when I was telling you guys that a couple months ago, when I was looking into the elections, I kept getting nothing. It wasn't that I was blocked. I was just getting nothing, like absolutely nothing. It was just like blank air, nothing happening. Well, I looked into the astrology, and one of the astrologers that I just watched said that basically, potentially, that there will be a complete shift of political power, and also we may even be at a state where there's no president, there's no government, that the government will change and shift. And she did put a lot of focus on government. So I feel as though get the fuck out the way. I feel like what she was saying was very much on par with what I was getting a few months ago when I was trying to tap into the political thing. There may be potentially the government's going to fucking fall apart, basically. Okay? So, damn. Because everybody's trying to go back and forth, Kamala, Trump, this and that. And if I'm being real with y'all, these political campaigns is weak as fuck. Like, if I'm being honest with y'all, I ain't never seen a weaker campaign than this. Both of their ass. It ain't even just one or the other. It ain't Kamala's weak. It ain't that Trump is weak. Both of their political campaigns is weak as fuck. Okay? So that to me could have something to do with budgetary constraints. I do feel that there are definitely some budgetary constraints going on with the government. I feel as though, that's probably why, that probably has a lot to do with this whole shit going in Israel and Palestine and all that shit like that. These motherfuckers is looking for money right now. They ain't got it. Let's just be honest, okay? So the government is probably most likely going to see a complete downshift and downturn. We must remember, Pluto in Aquarius does talk about humanitarianism. It does talk about a shift. Now, she also said the last time that this happened, Pluto in Aquarius and Scorpio, was when we had the American Revolution. So she said basically this is part 2. So just like I was saying something the other day about reparations, right? And then I saw this post yesterday talking about we not giving no reparations. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, that's what you think that's gonna happen? Well, guess what? Pluto in Aquarius is coming, and Pluto in Aquarius in Scorpio is here too. So now what y'all gonna do, right? So really what we gotta realize is this. First and foremost, we've relied heavily on government. We've relied heavily on the modern, systems that have been created. However, we have not been preparing for the end of that, the end of Babylon is what they call it, right? So I'm telling you this now because I need you to understand there are going to be a lot of shifts and changes that you need to prepare for. Number one, we're immediately, if you are on my channel, if you participate in any of my practices, when I do my dieting, when I do my fasting, when I do my detoxing, we're immediately starting effective right now. We're going on a detox period. Because we need to lighten the body in order for us to prepare for the shift that's happening. All of these shifts and alignments and everything that's happening, we need to be prepared physically for what is going to happen spiritually and also on the physical plane. Okay? So if you follow me, if you participate in any of my detoxes, any of those things like that, effective immediately, we're going into detox. Effective immediately, we're going into fasting. Effective immediately. I do not mean tomorrow. I do not mean next week. I don't mean on Tuesday or on Wednesday. I don't mean when a new moon come. I don't mean when the full moon come. I mean today, right the fuck now. I just had a couple of apples and some water. I'm gonna go get a whole bunch of water from the store. And my focus, I'm going to start with the apples because I've been doing pretty decent. I mean, this week I didn't do so great with my apples, but I've been doing pretty decent with my apples. So I'm going to start with that. I got a watermelon at the house. I'm just going to start with what the fuck I have. I have apples, I have access to water, and I have a watermelon at the crib. So that's what the fuck we're going to do. Now, I understand that for a lot of people, sometimes you feel like you need preparation. Oh, fuck that. Because you're not going to be prepared when the shit starts coming to your doorstep from whatever the fuck unrest occurs when this government happens. You guys remember those movies, Purge? Now, I ain't saying that's what it's going to be like, because obviously Pluto and Aquarius is about, it's going to bring in a humanitarianism, but we need to be aware, and we need to understand that any shift and any change is going to cause unrest, period. It's going to have a period of chaos. There is going to be a little bit of turbulence. You ever been on a plane? And excuse me guys, we're having a little bit of turbulence here. Another thing that came up as well was, I talked about in that video that I mentioned from the other day, I talked about an earthquake in Alaska. I talked about earthquakes. She mentioned that too. She said, yep, them tectonic plates going to start shifting and the earthquakes is going to start happening. So I got a vibe and a feeling that there's going to be an earthquake in Alaska, which could actually cause a chip of ice to break off from Alaska. I didn't see it being totally disastrous for Alaskans, but however, that chunk of ice that does break off, I do feel once again that is going to cause some sort of shift, probably elsewhere, potentially Florida, right? Right where I live at, in the epicenter, right? In the epicenter, goddammit. So the weather, she mentioned the weather as well. Of course, the weather is going to be, as we are shifting, as we are elevating, as we are open, our minds are opening up, our bodies are starting to feel this shift. We're feeling unrest, the animals are starting to be a little, not really right now, but they will. Anyway, what I've been noticing with the animals is the animals have been highly attracted to me. Every animal I have passed in the last few weeks have wanted to come to speak to me, has wanted to come to talk to me. And it's not normally like that. I mean, to the point where their owners are having to drag their asses back to where they're supposed to be going. And I've been noticing that the animals have been very reactive to me. They have been trying to talk to me. They have been coming up to me. They have been, trying to love on me or whatever. So I don't know what that is fully about it, except that maybe I'm just open and, they can understand, they can feel that. But animals have been heavily attracted to me lately. Anyway, this whole thing that's happening, I need you guys to be aware that there are going to be a lot of shifts and changes. And I need you to be prepared for them, right? So like I said, effective immediately, we are going to be going on an immediate detox ASAP, okay? So the last thing you ate should be the last thing you ate. The last piece of bullshit you ate should be the last piece of bullshit you ate. You heard me? Okay? So God's been detoxing me for months now. I mean, I've been doing this process, but I'm just saying it's just necessary to ensure that we're going to all be in the place that we need to be. Now, also, the awareness that I need to bring to you guys as well, all the little petty fights you be having with your family and shit, with your friends and shit, going to get that shit cleared up, because the reality is this is not going to be I can do it on my own type of season. Did you hear what I said? This is not going to be I can do it on my own season. This is going to be we got to work together season. So a lot of these issues that we've been having, just men against women, women against men, black women against black people, white people against black people, feminism, colonialism, like all these bullshit ass causes that we got fighting against some other person or some other group of people, that shit's going to end, because you're going to see that if you want to, this is going to be the people against governmental constructs. This is going to be the people, the oppressed against the oppressors. This is not going to be oh, it's a white and a black thing. This ain't no fucking white, no black thing. This ain't no men, no woman thing. And this is also going to be where we see like the systems of patriarchy start to break down, because I believe that we're going to see a lot of women become frontline fighters, and you know, and not even just frontline fighters, but also this is another reason why it's so important for everybody to be clear as well, because the woman is the spiritual, most likely she has majority, or she has a lot of spiritual capabilities, right? And when you are in your full abilities as a woman, right? Like for instance, sometimes you guys come to my channel so I can see some shit for you, right? But when you're in that ability, you're going to have those intuitive abilities that are going to help you understand it's time to leave, it's time to go, it's time to stay, we can stay here, this is a good place, whatever, you know, whatever it is that you need to see as a woman with your spiritual capabilities. And another thing is, yeah, our spiritual work is the fact that over the last few years, our spiritual work has increased and improved. That is going to make a difference in this time that we are about to enter in life. It is going to be very important that you have worked on your spiritual prowess. So yes, the main concern that I really had was that I knew there was a reason why I saw nothing. I saw nothing when I was tapping into the politics. It wasn't even like, it didn't even feel like it was a blockage. You know what I mean? Like I know when it's a block, like that's not information I'm supposed to share or supposed to get. It wasn't that. It was just nothingness. Just nothingness in the air. And so that meant that I knew I could feel it. I could feel it, but I just didn't want to say it because I was like, well, that doesn't seem logical, but it was. It makes sense considering the time that we are going into. So yeah. You're gonna notice that I pulled down a lot of my content, but some of it might come back, some of it might not come back. It just depends on how I'm feeling. As of right now, I just wanna, my energy is so important to me right now, so that's my focus, keeping my energy where it needs to be so that I can use it for what I need to use it for. But I will be here doing tarot, doing all that stuff, whatever, getting into the astrology of it all as well. So no worries in that regard. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to be here. It just means that I might not keep my content published. All right, I got this new bottle of cleaning stuff from Walmart. It was cheaper than all the others, and it was super big. So we're gonna find out. I'm gonna find out what it does. It may be my last time ever buying this shit. It might not be. We'll find out. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm gonna come back a little bit later after I finish doing what I'm doing, and then we can do some tarot and also doing. I think from now I won't just be doing tarot. I will also be doing intuitive channeling and channeled messages, because I feel like that intuitive channeled message, yeah, it may not be about your personal life, but it will be about life in general, and that is kind of where we need to be putting a lot of our focus right now. Because when I say that things are changing, I mean they're changing big time. And there's a lot of people, because they're so tapped into the bullshit, a lot of people just won't know, you know what I mean? And you'll want to be able to be there for those people of your family, at least, that just simply won't know, you know what I mean? They just simply won't know shit. They're going to be dumbfounded, honestly. Some of them are going to be fucking dumbfounded because they're not keeping themselves in the awareness. They're not opening themselves up to grow and things of that nature. So I will make sure that I'm continuing to share messages with you guys for those purposes, because there are going to be some of you guys that might have to, for lack of better words, smack the shit out of your folks. You know what I mean? For lack of better words, you might have to go and smack every fucking body. Just line them up. Come on, everybody line up so I can smack the shit out of you. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, you know, just a little comedic, excuse me, break. But, you know, A lot of the messages that I've been sharing lately, literally, astrology is coming in and confirming everything that I was feeling. Some of the things that I was feeling, I didn't even speak on because, like I said, it was one of those things that it's like, damn, I could say this. Now, one of the things as well, it's not meant for you guys to be fearful when I share this information. It's not for you to be in fear of anything. Listen, it's just for awareness, so you can be prepared, so you can get prepared, so you can start working. So another thing that I did not talk about is your gardens. Have you guys been working on your gardens? If you haven't, then you should be. You should be. You guys think that they had a whole strike at the docks? Seemed like that shit got settled really quickly, right? That's not it. There's more. There's so much more. There are going to be people that are going to be resigning from their positions, high positions in government. There's going to be a lot of changes. People are going to be, their indiscretions are going to be coming out loud on live on TV and shit. And you think P. Diddy, that's the thing. It's like they try to put the focus on somebody that's not as important so that they can try to hide their evidence in the background, but they're not going to be able to keep doing that. So this whole P. Diddy thing is going to go away. It's going to go away because it's not more important than if your president is doing some shit, right? Like, I mean, it is important. It's very important. But when you start to see what's coming out and from whom, I think you're going to realize that we don't know shit. We don't know shit. But these are the people that have been in power. These are the people that have been running this system and running this government. And we've allowed them to run this government for, you know what I'm saying? We've allowed this shit to go down. So be prepared. Be ready. If you follow my channel and you do, every time I do my detoxes, you do it with me. Effective immediately, we are on a detox. Effective immediately, we are on fasting. Until further notice. Now, I understand there may be some times where it may be difficult. I understand that, but do your best. No, fuck that. Do it. Just do it, okay? Effective immediately, because when I'm talking about these shifts and the change, it's not just going to impact like social reform and, you know, things outside of you. It's going to impact you too, and physically. The shift that's happening on the earth is going to happen to you physically. This is, in the Bible, they talk about the rapture. Well, I need you guys to be aware. This time that we are entering right now is that time. And I'm breaking it down like that because I know a lot of people relate to religious doctrine. And so if you relate to religious doctrine, then you understand what I'm saying. So your health is key in order to be able to deal with the shifts that are happening, because the shifts are not just, you know, what's happening in somebody else's life. The shifts are happening with the earth. And as the vibration of the people start to change, as we begin to wake up more, the the earth is going to change its own vibration. And so you have to be prepared for that. That's why on the physical, you have to get ready. Okay? So look, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back very soon. Not just give me probably about an hour. And then I will be back and we will talk some more. Maybe go into some channeled messages. But I do have something to do right now. And so I will get back to you.